I think it'll be good for the price to get back above this really steep trend line. That will be quite important. And then the sign of strength would obviously be to get back above this previous range, this upper range point of control. But obviously you have to be careful, because what's going on is that we have the overall range point of control still above us. There. Could this be going lower? I mean, we're at the value area low of this range, so obviously the best place to buy would be now. But you're only trading the range, you're not expecting more. And that's the point. You have to trade the range and see what happens afterwards. But this would be a good place to come in as far as the volume of this range is concerned, because most of the price action has been much higher at 3,400, 3,000, 43,700. So basically, in terms of the range, this is a good place. But if you're thinking the moon, then it's still a good place. But
it could go lower. You always have to think about the potential of lower. Yesterday's daily close was not a great sight. However, when you really zoom in, yeah, you see, yesterday we closed lower than this wick. Yeah, it was a lower close. So that was the low, and we closed lower. That means people held onto their positions after the close, and it was lower than previous prices. They were willing to hold out. They were willing to wait. They weren't looking to buy. They were willing to wait. So I think in terms of the daily candles are concerned, you need some kind of repair before taking an entry. Hi, and welcome back. Is it just me? Yes, just me. That's fine. Yeah, so I think the daily was pretty bad. Probably looking for some kind of, yeah, I think what would be good possibly is a reclaim of this daily level here, even though it's not relevant anymore. I think it would be good to get back above it and reclaim it as support. Even though it never offered support in the first place, I think it would be quite good if we could, if the price could get back above it to show some strength. If that was to happen, you'd be back above here, and then that would be quite a nice long. That would be quite a nice long as well. So you're looking somehow to get back above here to long that somehow. That would be quite a nice SOS, and then you'd be looking for potentially something like this, back up to the point of control, rather than just try and get in now, because I think the problem is that we don't know if the price is going to do this. It could go down, and that's the problem. You can't tell how far it could go. Zoom this out a bit. Yeah, so we're at the value area low now, which is good. What will happen is that the price will eventually kind of squeeze itself. It'll get stuck, and then it will squeeze. So I think it'd be nice to get some kind of strength, see some strength, and then enter. That's kind of what you're looking for a long. Let's get some strength back into Bitcoin, and then long on the pullback. Yeah, and then you have an invalidation as well, and then you're basically longing the back test of some previous levels, because you have levels. You have like SFP levels here, 1 2 3. It could easily come do this and come back up. And obviously if we want to short this, then it's the reverse. It's you're looking to come back up into the value area low of this previous range to short there. See that? That's kind of what you're expecting. That kind of behavior. If it did that, you could trade that. And then if it didn't do that, then you wouldn't take the trade. It's no big deal, because you're only potentially trading what if this happens. The great thing about if this happens is that you have this, I've just made this up, this trend line, these two touches. There's no reason for this to just go up. It could quite easily hit this and go back down, so that's also possible. You have to see how that have to see how the price reacts and see how much volume comes in. But when I'm looking at this, it's basically what you're looking at too. It's also possible. But you have to wait for the price to react. You can't just take that trade because the price could just go through those levels. If the price starts to react and you start seeing weakness in volume, then you can take the trade and you can trade it down to the bottom of these levels. But if you see strength, then you'll be looking to long it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about Bitcoin at the moment. Potentially, either the price goes up and squeezes everyone out, and then you just go for the long on the back test, or the price is weak when it goes up and shows weakness, and then you can short that. And how far up could it go up? Well, potentially it could come up all the way up to this range, but you don't really want it to. That's the thing. Even though it could, you don't want it to, and that's how I see it. So that's how I view the price. The problem with this short is there's nothing there. It's just volume. So it's not really great. I don't like it actually, to be honest with you. I'm not fond of it. It's just a trend line. You're just shorting a trend line. It's not great. So I think probably no. I'm not fond of that short. I wouldn't short here. No, it's not amazing. I'd be looking for longs here. And so it's just what you want to see before you take a long. Yeah. You want to see something before something else. You want to see strength before you take a long. You want to see a swing failure before you take a long. You want to see a reclaiming of levels before you take a long. You see, so you have these conditions which need to be met before you do something, and the something is to take a long is to buy Bitcoin and take a long. So ultimately what you're looking for is the condition, and the condition here is what we're looking for is strength. We're looking for strength. Once we see strength, we can take a long. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for strength, and that's how you trade effectively. That's really what it is. It's looking for something. So let me have a look at, I got XO charts yesterday, so I just also want to have a look at the CVD and seeing if the this is going to make no sense to anyone, but I just want to see the CV. I want to see if this makes if this says, if I can see anything in this. Don't worry about this. When I first looked at this, it made no sense to me either. The more you look at things, the more sense it makes. So I can tell you now that there's a bearish CVD in play right now. So what that means is that market longs are being absorbed. Market longs are being absorbed because this delta represents market is going up and making higher highs. You see, it's made a higher high there, and it's made a higher high there and there. And the price is lower. See, the price is lower. So that's a lower high. And then the delta, it's higher. The delta is higher. So that's bearish. That's bearish CVD absorption. So you got to be aware of that. Ultimately, what that means is that someone with a large amount of Bitcoin is placing limit orders at these levels because they're trying to sell. They're selling. There's someone with a lot of Bitcoin selling Bitcoin at these prices. That's effectively what that means. So in context of that, maybe this short is a better idea. So the long requires strength, which we have to see. We have to see strength. Yeah, I'm not longing for hope. I'm longing for strength. And that's the point. You have to understand what I'm saying. I'm not hoping. I'm longing with strength. I have to see the strength. I'm waiting for strength. I'm not longing for hope. There's no hope here. I'm not hoping it goes up. I'm waiting to see the strength, and then I'm longing. If I see strength, I long. And if I see weakness, I short. That's how it is. You have to look for the signs of strength and look for the signs of weakness. And when it comes to trading, that's fundamentally, that's all you do. You're looking for the signs. I'm looking for signs of strength or signs of weakness. And if you see strength, you long. And if you see weakness, you short. That's it. Really, that's it. It's all about strength and weakness. And in terms of strength and weakness, you have all these ways of looking at the charts. And then you look at the volume and the interest and the prices. So there's different ways of looking at the charts to see if you can see strength and weakness, and then determine if that is really strength or if that is weakness. And so the reason why, for example, with Bitcoin, people look at the open interest, look at the CVD divergences, is because they're trying to find out if people are actually buying or if the price is moving because people are being liquidated. There's a difference between liquidations and actual demand for an asset or a token. There's a big difference between those two. Yeah. And so when the price moves because of liquidations, it's not strength. But when the price moves because there's actual demand, that is strength. And so it's good. That's why it's good to look at liquidations. So for example, you see we have these liquidations on XO. I'm looking at XO now. And now I'm looking at the open interest going up. And the markets are being absorbed. There's a bit of bearish absorption here. I mean, it might be good to short this actually. I'm looking at this now. Maybe that short was good for a second touch. But I don't like shorting the lows, you know, like I don't really like that. And then you need confluence to do that. So how would you do it? How would you short the lows? It's very difficult because you're at the value area low. You don't really want to short the lows. You really want to long the lows. That's the problem. We're in this kind of, see this line that I've marked out from here to here. So we've tapped it, we've touched it one more time. And then we're from here to wherever we are now. It's not easy. We're not forming an amazing candle here, to be honest with you. It's not looking great for Bitcoin. In the monthly time frame. I mean, obviously the month, we have a few more. What are we now? The 19th of January? Have to see. It's not crazy volume though, you know, like if this was really high volume in the highs, then I would be really worried. There was so much volume back then, and there's like nothing now in comparison. This tells you that people are hodling. That's what it really tells you. It's trying to form some kind of structure at the bottom here, and that's nice. You know, this is this it kind of looks like what's forming is kind of looks like this. See, kind of looks like this. It's forming like this. So swing failure. What's the difference between this price action here and here? Well, the difference is that here we were kind of on a, the momentum was up, and now maybe the momentum is turning. That's possibly the difference right now. We have a look at the momentum. Look at that. So that's the daily 50 moving average. So right now, if you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying it underneath the last 50-day moving average, 50 days. You're buying it now, you're buying it underneath the average price for the last 50 days. That was your golden cross there. So look at this. So from where so from the golden cross to now, where the price has come to now, Bitcoin is up 20% from the golden cross, 20%. It's quite interesting. Hi. I think there's someone watching. It says one. One person. Say hi. Who's watching? Say hi. Current viewers 2 now. No, 0. And this is my phone is not working. Yeah, it's looking. It does look like it wants to correct, but I feel like that it should continue to range. I don't know. I think it should go up. We're just trying to figure out when, why, how, who, what. So I don't like that this candle closed underneath this yesterday's candle. It doesn't look good for the bulls, actually. You know, I kind of think that you don't really want to be in this until it corrects. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You have this previous day, not previous day, this wick low. What is that? That's SR flip effectively. The price is probably going to be trying to figure out what it wants to do on the bottom of this candle here, this wick here, because it closed lower. That's the problem. The problem is that it closed lower, right? Sure, it could be a bear trap. It could be, but at the moment, you couldn't long that. It's impossible to long this, quite simply because when you're looking at candles and candle structure, you've just literally closed the price is closed underneath a previous wick. That's not a good, that's, look, you see that? So it doesn't even matter if, excuse me, it doesn't even matter if it's going up. Yeah. You couldn't just buy, you wouldn't just buy that. You're looking to wait, you're waiting for it to fall onto support. So it almost needs to like settle onto that level rather than just come underneath. And you almost need it to close above this lower level as well. So actually, maybe it is going lower. Dare I say it? Maybe it needs to go and clear up these lows first before it starts rallying. And the correction that I really want to see before getting bullish again, like really bullish, is for sure I want to see the price to close above this. But the sign of strength for me, I think, is going to be what's the sign of strength? Because the thing is, if it was to come, if the price was to come above this SFP, it could still fall under like that. It can still do that quite simply because you have this line here, which I'm not drawing properly, which I did before. This one, these two. So you have these two, and the price could quite simply, with the bearish CVD, it could quite simply do this, you know, like it could do that. It could definitely do that. And you know, you're longing for the moon, but actually it's not the right time or place to long, because it could do that. That could happen. That's the problem with this, with the way the price is behaving now. This is possible, and so therefore you have to be careful if you're going to long Bitcoin right now, because this could happen and there's no support. You know, the price could go down, and if it doesn't swing failure these lows, if it doesn't swing failure these lows, it could do that. That's the problem. And so you'll end up with a really bearish candle. So you have to be careful with longing right now until we can get some kind of reclaim some kind of levels. And I think that's what you're looking for, because you're looking for some kind of the reclamation of levels to signal strength. And right now, if I was to take like a volume range of it's quite a small range, huh? Of just this mini range, even up to the end, a bit wider. Like at the very least, you really want the price to get back into the value area low. You know, that's when you're going to start seeing some turns, a turn in price. Otherwise, there is no turn in price, and you can't hope. Hope is the wrong word. Don't long because you hope it's going to go up. You have to see the signs. The signs are strength or weakness. You either long signs of strength or you short signs of weakness. That's basically it. If you start seeing strength, you long. If you start seeing weakness, you short. And it's that will simplify things for you. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So yeah, so we're kind of, I think in terms of longs, you just got to be a little bit careful. There's quite a lot of risk here. Obviously, if obviously the price could do this, SFP low and go up. The price could easily do that. So if you were to long now, you'll get liquidated there. The price will go down, take out your stops, come back up to go up. So you could potentially, if you wanted to, long the swing failure of this low. I think actually that might be the best long if you get that kind of swing failure pattern. Just looking at the price action now, if you wanted to long, and obviously what else? Or just go for the sign of strength, and then maybe a short. Let me get rid of this now. These trades didn't work. They didn't work. Let me get rid of this. That was from before. So we're looking. Let me just redo these actually. So I like this previous daily level. Oops. And I think it'll be good to get back above it, to show some strength, and above this trend line. So that would be good. I am actually in a long right now. I took a long and I've taken my profit already, so I made my 1%. But I will long again. I'm looking to long again if I see what I want to see, and that would be some kind of behavior like this, you know, like I want to see that push up and then long. I don't know how it's going to be, but something like that. Just got to be careful because you have this moving average coming down. I've just noticed that they're not easy to get by. So anyway, this is something to look at. It may just, you know, it may just do this again, you know, that's the problem. Just to go up to take it may just continue this range a little bit rather than just go up. You don't expect the moon in this situation. Never expect the moon. So probably, let me redo this. Probably something like that. And try and get that daily level. The sign of strength. That's your sign of strength. And then you're also looking for potentially, if you want a short, then you would, like here, potentially you could short that. The price tries to get back into the value area, gets a rejection, and you but I think then you'd be looking for a swing failure. Hi Craig Shot Gaming. Hi. I just looked down and I saw your message. So you'd be looking for a swing failure down here. I don't want to long this unless I see a sign of strength. I can't see strength right now. All I see is weakness. And so it's you're looking for strength, or you're looking for a swing failure pattern to long, and then you don't want to short the lows, so you're looking for weakness, or you're looking for a swing failure pattern. But I think it's possible that the price could come back into this value area low, hit the bottom of this line that I've drawn, and reject. So it is there is a short possibility here, but then you might also get some sort of potentially. Swing failure of these lows as well. It is possible. Like an SFP here. But these are like really scalpy trades. They're not really crazy trades. And then ultimately on the daily time frame, what you have is you have a really poor, dare I say poor, a really bearish daily candle from yesterday. It closed below this wick, which isn't good. It was increasing volume, which isn't good either. And so what you need in terms of candles is some kind of repair, some kind of reversal, some kind of something to tell you that this isn't going down anymore. And the first sign of that you could then think about a higher time frame long, but at the moment you're just like, it's all just scalping until we have some kind of confirmation of that. And you see, as the price came into these lows here, it didn't just reverse. It takes a few days to reverse, so we have time. We don't have to rush into it for some kind of Bitcoin reversal. But we are correcting, so that's quite normal behavior. See, ETH BTC is showing strength still. So the weakness that we're experiencing in Bitcoin right now is coming from ETH. So the flow of capital is going into ETH, which is what's causing Bitcoin to show weakness. Let me see Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still very weak as well. It's not showing any strength, any sign of strength. And you know, we've made a lower low and there's no interest to go back up. So ultimately what that means is that people prefer ETH at the moment. They prefer to stay in ETH than Bitcoin. They're holding on to their ETH. They're not buying Bitcoin as opposed to ETH. And so it does mean that ETH will drop in USD value, but it doesn't necessarily mean that in terms of ETH compared to Bitcoin, Bitcoin will drop more in terms of USD value as opposed to ETH. So ETH will retain its value more than Bitcoin. So actually ETH is coming to backtest some previous levels, whereas if you look at Bitcoin, you'll notice that we're losing levels. You know, we're not backtesting levels potentially. And actually with Bitcoin, it's possible. It's very possible that we come down. It's possible. I don't want to call it, but it's possible we come down. And I think it's possible that the reason we come down is because the flow of capital is going back into ETH. And maybe that's part of the market makers strategy, because I think there's a lot of capital outside of the market, outside of the crypto market at lower levels, and people outside of the crypto market will have big orders lower down, limit orders. And so what the market makers are trying to do is they're trying to bring that capital into crypto, and the way to do that is to bring the price of Bitcoin down. And the way they bring the price of Bitcoin down is by selling Bitcoin into ETH. And that's why you see, that's why we're seeing Bitcoin dominance go down. Because of that reason. because the market makers are trying to bring the price of Bitcoin down. That's why you see the ETH BTC go up, because the market makers, the whales basically, are trying to manipulate the price of Bitcoin, bring it down low enough so that the extra capital that's waiting outside of the crypto market can come into the crypto market. And when I'm looking at the total crypto market cap, this is the first time the price is closed underneath the crypto market cap simple moving average 50. That was yesterday. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything really. Like, you can't like just sell just because that happens. If you look at the moving average on the 50 moving average, look how bullish that moving average is. That's a really, the momentum on the daily moving average is off the charts. Yeah, and if you look at the last time the momentum was so steep like this, the price, it did go down, but look how it recovered. The moving averages really have a way of pulling the price back into line with the momentum of the moving averages. So there's no easy way to, like, you don't just, the price isn't going to collapse. It doesn't work like that. Even if the price was to come down, because the moving average continues, for some reason the price rubber bands back up to the moving average. It just comes back up, it whips back up. So, and the moving averages have this kind of power over the price, but it's a very laggard power. It takes time to reflect on the price. So I think it's interesting that the price is closed under for the first time. And then if you look back to see what happened before, look, so this is what you'd be looking for. Are we going to get this kind of behavior? So we have to see what happens now and see if we get the same kind of behavior after we've lost the 50 moving average. Because last time it happened, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days of consolidation underneath the 50 moving average. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is day 1. Let's see if we get 4 days. And then what the price did was it went all the way down to the 200. You see that? And it went down to the 200 and it just came right back up. And that was, obviously that's quite bullish. And here's a 200 down here. So we have to see if this behaves similarly or if it does something different. It's definitely premature to sell. And I think what people are like looking to do is they're not really looking to sell. They're just looking to, it's greed, isn't it? They're looking to sell to buy back more. They're looking to make more. They're not really like, no one right now is looking to exit crypto or Bitcoin. Like, psychologically wise, it's the year of the halving. No one's looking to sell. What people are trying to do is make money, improve their positions. That's really what it is. It's all greed. And so rather than just hodling and just forgetting about it, people are all just accumulating and buying the dips. People are actually trying to push and push and push and trying to make more money. And so they're trying to find an edge. And that's what, so if people are selling here, it's not because they think it's going to zero, it's because they're trying to make more. And then obviously they can short as well. But I think it's hard for a lot of people to short. It's not easy. Hold on. I don't think this is like, this isn't bearish. It's actually a good opportunity to buy more, to buy the dip. You know, when the price comes under, when you see the price come underneath the 50 moving average, it's a real opportunity. And it also, look, Bitcoin is underneath the 50. And I think what you're going to get, I don't know when it's going to happen, but you're going to get this kind of, I don't know how low it's going to get, but you're going to get this kind of rubber banding effect where the price will come underneath it, and the 50 moving average is like rolling up like a freaking rocket, and it will just drag the price up with it. And then what will happen is it'll be something similar to this. If you see here, the 50 was still going up, and then the price just shot up. And that's kind of what's going to happen again with this moving average. You can't really trade it, but it doesn't mean like, it doesn't mean the price is going down. Like, people are like, they're trying to think to themselves, is this the top? Is the price going down or whatever? It doesn't work like that. You need to turn these averages to flat before the price turns. And in looking at the price in the past, if you look at the previous bull market, obviously it's not always the 50, it can be any moving average. It's 50 is just the one I use. But when it did that before the bull market had even begun, the price came underneath it and it just pulled it up. See and then eventually it couldn't, it just carried. And then when it was running, I mean, it was so bullish it couldn't even get back to the 50. There was probably some other moving averages that it was following, probably the 12 actually, which is what I was talking about the other day, this 12 EMA. We're in that kind of situation. You've got decreasing volume. You've got bearish. You've got bearish CVD. Let me see if that's changed on XO charts. 5-minute time. Let's see. Yeah. So what you have is you have the delta going up. What delta is market buys. So the delta is making higher highs, and the price hasn't made a higher high yet. The price is still lower than the previous high. So when you have that, it means that the market longs are getting absorbed by limit orders, and you see that the price is going up and the open interest is going up. So that means that these longs are leveraged longs, and so that's what probably what we're going to get is you're going to get the market makers going to liquidate all of these leverage longs soon, which is what I'm kind of seeing from exo charts. So actually you've got some kind of bearish price behavior in the background, and so I do think this is probably going to go down again. So I think if you're looking to long Bitcoin, I'd just wait for a sign of strength. That's always the best thing. Wait for a sign of strength, and then people will always find it difficult to know what signs of strength are. And I think the easiest way to know what a sign of strength is reclaiming of previous levels. So you mark out levels that are very important. So I've already marked out, for me, this daily level is quite important, this blue line. And I want to see if it can go up there. And does it go down, or does it continue? So if it was able to continue, that would be a sign of strength, because you're coming into a nice area for taking profit or for shorting. And if the price continues to go up, it means there's no interest in taking profit or shorting. It means the price is being pushed up. So that's a sign of strength. And if it reverses, obviously that's a sign of weakness. And then you wouldn't long. You'd actually probably short, or you would just wait. If you're just looking to long, you just wait. And then obviously in reverse, what you're looking, then in that case, if you're not looking for not just a sign of strength, if you're looking to long, you're also looking for a swing failure. And then you have your levels lower down for swing failures. The best level is this lower level, and you just have to see how the price reacts to those levels. If the price goes down but just comes back up, then you can long, you know. And if it doesn't, if it just kind of just flops, whatever, then you don't long. So you just have to see how the price reacts. If you see the price isn't flopping, if it's reacting and it's holding a swing failure level, then you can long it. And then the most important thing is the invalidation. You have to have an invalidation before you take a trade. So you have to know where you're, if you take a trade, you have to know if you're wrong. So the reason why you could never long now, you could be right. You could be right. The price could be going up. The reason why you would never long now is because you have such a wide invalidation to be wrong. If you were to long now, you'd have to put your invalidation all the way down at these lows. It's too far, and then you're already into resistance. So you basically that's your risk versus reward. It doesn't make any sense. So that's how you have to visualize taking trades. What's the first point of resistance, and what's my invalidation, and what's the risk to reward? And so actually it's always better in the lows, but then usually it's better when it comes there the first or even the second time, never like the third, the fourth, the fifth time. Yeah, you're just trying to get it early, and then you have to take your profit early too. Anything else? Any questions? I've got a so TRVL made some updates today. I'm just going to go through them because I want to cut this out and put this on a separate video so people know. Let me pull it up. Actually, it's quite interesting. Dtravel made some announcements today, and they usually do their announcements, their weekly updates on Fridays, if you didn't know. And I'm just going to read it through. So they say highlight one. They've been working with Zapier. I don't know what that means. We've been working with a Zapier-like company. I don't know what that means. What's a Zapier-like company? This is the problem. Cryptic messages. We're gonna have to Google it and find out. Building PMS channel manager connectivity, and are currently testing to determine long-term feasibility of the partnership. So I guess Zapier is going to be some kind of PMS or some kind of channel manager. And I guess what's happening is that they've started kind of cooperating with each other to see if there's a possibility of connecting Dtravel with their channel manager. This could be a major unlock. I like it when they say major and unlock. Those two words together are bullish. Always use bullish terminology when you're phrasing things. Major unlock. I like unlocks. That's kind of like when you're leveling up in a game and you finally unlock something, and it's It's like a new level that will bring many more connectivity options for any vacation rental operator. I don't like the word operator. They should use host, whatever. Using a technology stack where we're not integrated with. Over the past couple of weeks, our engineer team has been extremely focused on shipping smart wallets and Dtravel Direct version 3 booking smart contracts upgrade, marketing push, and details coming soon. So this is the big news, and I don't know if people are aware, and maybe they're not, and maybe I need to remind everyone again that something big is about to happen with Dtravel. This Dtravel Direct version 3 is huge. It's massive. It's not a small deal. It's a big deal. And the team are giving hints already. You know, they're giving us the teasers. And so obviously, and look, this marketing push and details coming soon. I think we have to anticipate this because this isn't a small thing. This is a big thing because Dtravel isn't really known. And I think this has got something to do with something lower down. Look at this. So look on the highlights 3, community and marketing. It says finalizing co-marketing details with a major L2. See that? Finalizing co-marketing details with a major L2. These are cryptic, but actually we have all the information here. There's going to be marketing push with a major L2. So you can put that, you can work that out. Something big is about to happen. A major L2. Obviously, that major L2 is going to be on Ethereum. And so just think about everything that I've said and talked about. This is big. And it's going to be a massive marketing push. So I think some big things are about to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. Probably next week. Every time people ask me, I say it's probably next week. I don't know myself. That's the honest truth. I'm not on the team. I'm like everyone else. I'm just a fanboy, so to speak. I'm an enthusiast. I'm just trying to decipher the words and try and understand what's happening. Sensei is receiving a major system overhaul aimed at producing significantly improving travel planning conversation flow. I don't know what that means. Researching new L1 options, offering grants. So it looks like the team are getting grants from new L1s. So that's quite interesting. Meetings with human protocol and check first on implementation of check first AI inspection tool to verify listings. No idea what that means. Meeting with Meld to discuss crypto on-ramp solution. I like the words on-ramp. Meeting with big PMS to discuss partnerships and co-marketing. So they should always use this word co-marketing because I like co-marketing. Finalizing co-marketing details of a major L2. This is really the big one, I think. I think if you're going to hone in on one piece of information in all of everything that's written in this press release, this is the one. Because when you're doing co-marketing with a major L2, yeah, that's not a small deal. That's a big deal. And if a major L2 is going to co-market it, they're going to market us to their crowd. Effectively, that's what I'm seeing here. That's a big deal. For Dtravel TRVL is going to be released to the world. Effectively, it's not a small thing. So I'm quite interested to see what happens and how that reflects on the price, and possibly that the reason why the volumes come in is to do with this. But when I look at the price actually of Dtravel, it's interesting because I still think that no one knows about Dtravel. When I look at the price, oh, is that the wrong window? How do I get back to my window? It's weird. I hate oh, I hate this sometimes. It doesn't show right. There it is. It's still really lower. I think TRVL is a really good price at the moment because, and I'm trying to focus on the higher time frame. I'm not really that interested in the lower time frame. And I'm basically, when I look at the price with everything that's about to happen and with all of the volume that's coming in recently, I'm like amazed because we're currently trading below the previous month high and the previous month high. You're basically getting in now at the same price as November after all of this volume has come in to prop up the price, to hold the price up. So it's really, I think this is really an amazing opportunity right now with Dtravel. I can't emphasize that. With everything that I've read in just now in that Telegram, that finalizing co-marketing details with the major L2 and also the Dtravel Direct version 3. So Dtravel Direct version 3, what is that? It's a world's first actually, because what it means is that every time there's a booking, a reservation, that will be concluded, that will be processed or written on the chain. Even if the transaction value is in fiat, it will still be on chain. Yeah. But obviously the value is going to be fiat. That's separate. That's done using Stripe. Stripe is a centralized third party for which processes credit cards. But the actual reservation details is on chain in a smart contract. That's actually a world's first. No one's doing this. We're doing this first. So it's quite we're breaching a technological frontier here, and it's quite exciting to see this happen. And I think this L2 that they're talking about is connected. This is all connected, because to be able to do that, you have to use an L2, because otherwise the gas fees are too much on Ethereum. If you were to do it on chain, booking on chain every time using ETH, it'd be too costly. And so the whole idea of using an L2 is that you can put every transaction on chain, and it's cost manageable. It's not going to be expensive to do that, but that opens up the doors, because now when you have all of the reservations on chain, you can do so much more. And obviously I think that's all of what's coming later has got to do with this major first step, which is making sure that all of the reservations and all of that information is on chain. So this is the first step to what's coming later, and it's everything that's coming later is going to be built on this foundation that's going to be established now. I think this is a massive step. So I think part of the reason we saw an increase in volume, it could have been because of this L2 thing. Maybe they bought a shitload of tokens in preparation for that. It could be, you know, no one actually knows who did that, who injected volume into this token. And I calculated it was way over $1 million, maybe more, of token acquisition at these prices, because I was looking at KuCoin. If you look at all of the exchanges on aggregate, there was a lot of it was a big buy. And that's why I was saying this is literally the, like, I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but this I think we're good. Like, I think this is good. I think this is really good. This is looking really healthy. And so obviously people are worried about the price fluctuations. That's the thing. Like, I'm not really looking at the lower time frames really. I look at the daily and above, and I just keep on buying these red daily candles. So I've been buying these every single, apart from this first one, because I don't like catching a falling knife. I don't like doing that. I've bought 5 red daily candles now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought all 5 of them. Yeah, I didn't sell this green candle. I could have, but I'm not really in the mood for selling right now. I'm in the mood for buying and growing my bag, basically, so to speak, my bag. And that's the strategy for me, is just buying red candles. And I think it's a really good strategy because you're always buying the lowest prices at the end of the day. And so after all of this price has gone up and down, like, you could have waited. Yesterday you wouldn't have waited. You didn't need to buy yesterday until the day closed, and then you wouldn't have got in at 4.4 cents. You could have come in at 3.9 cents. Yeah, and that's the reason why you wait for the day to close, because then you know if it's a good price on that. Now, obviously, you could get lower if it goes down and comes back up, because on this day it went all the way down to 3.8 cents and it closed at 4 cents. But and then I on the chart the other day, I was it 2 days ago, I put down these lines and I was trying to explain about levels in a previous stream. And before it actually came up to this level, you see, I marked it daily level, and look how the price reacted to that level. So I think people are starting to understand what I'm saying, that when you form these squares with the green and then the red, or the red and the green, it creates a level of liquidity. So they're the good places to buy and sell. So naturally, it's very possible that we go down into this liquidity here, and I expect the price to come back up. At the very least, I expect that level potentially to offer support, and that would be very normal behavior. So I'm not going to like look to panic sell. I'd be looking to buy more. And I think the first sign of strength that you're looking for now on Dtravel, I mean, we had our first sign of strength last week because we had this weekly injection of volume and we closed above a significant level which I'd marked out, which was it was this one here. I think it was one of these levels here, which I called it the weekly level, a previous weekly level. And we had our sign of strength because if you look at these weekly candles, I don't really need to explain it to anyone. You can see what's happening. This week it came up to backtest, and then it was offering resistance until we broke through last week. And now the price is floating above that level right now on the weekly time frame. Yeah, that was our sign of strength, and that injection of volume broke that level, and now the price is just kind of floating in midair, trying to find support. That's effectively what it's doing. Whether it finds support now or lower, no one knows. But eventually it'll get to a place where there'll be no more selling and it will just be buying again, and then the price will continue to go up, and no one knows when that's going to happen, and no one knows if that's going to be an injection of volume because of a massive marketing campaign that's about to be launched, or something else, or another whale just coming along and saying, I want a few million of TRVL and I don't care what price I get it at, because that could with a low market cap coin like this, it can happen anytime, and no one's going to be expecting it to happen. It could just happen. There's a lot of wealthy people out there Once they understand what's happening with Dtravel, they might take a bite out of that apple. So technically, though, I think obviously we're above this weekly level. I think it would be a real sign of weakness to close back down below that weekly level on the weekly time frame now. So I don't think it would be a good sign for us to come back underneath that line with a close. So just bear that in mind. And doesn't mean I'm going to panic sell, but I'm not going to buy if that starts to happen. Does that make sense? Like if the price was to come back down and close there, I would have to wait for, like, because then you don't, the price, what if the price comes lower? You know, like that's how you have to think. You're not just going to buy it. You'd have to wait for the price to come back up to buy it, because the invalidation is so small. You would wait. But obviously then if the price came much low, you would buy, because then you're getting really low prices. So that's the difference between waiting for lower or waiting for strength. And so when you see weakness, you have to wait for strength to come back, or you wait for lower. But at the moment, I don't see weakness. I'm seeing strength, and I think it will be a good opportunity. Like, and I said, like, if you're going to trade this, just trade the volume range. Like, if you really want to trade this now, just pull the volume and just trade the volume range. This is obviously KuCoin, and the different exchanges will have different volume levels, and it's very hard to do. They're all saying different things, but obviously look on KuCoin, as soon as you lose, look at this red candle. Yeah, this is the hourly chart. As soon as you've lost this level, you can see that these are market sells. Do you see these wicks underneath these candles? These are all market sells. So people are selling, right? Why are they selling? Because this red candle here, increasing volume, closed underneath these wicks. It was a close underneath these wicks. Yeah. So people started selling. Yeah. And then we lost the point of control with this candle here, and more selling. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. You know, like, you're just trading the range, the volume range. And when you lose key lines like this on the lower time frame, you have a really easy invalidation, because obviously, let's say you were the one. Let's say, who is it that sold this candle? Maybe someone watching the stream sold that candle, right? It's possible, because it's not really high volume. How many on KuCoin? What's the volume of that candle? 121,000 coins, right? It's not crazy. And then the invalidation is, well, if the price comes back above this point of control, with a close, then your idea is invalidated, because now your idea is weakness in the local price action. Your idea is that we've lost the point of control. That should now offer resistance, which it hasn't come back to test, but that's the idea. So obviously, if you come back up now, then your idea has been invalidated. Then you're stopped out. Mentally, you're stopped out, because you're not expecting that behavior. If you lose a level, you're not expecting yet to, after you've sold, you're not expecting the level to be reclaimed. And a lot of people can be whales in this coin right now, because of the illiquid nature of the market, because it takes a very small amount of USD value to move the market in this token. So naturally, after that person sold, oh, sorry, I've got allergies. Sorry, there's cats here, and I react badly to cats. I like them, but they don't work well with me. Hi, David. So when you, if that person sold, then naturally the price is from the lowest point that they sold to where we are now, the price is 3.5%, almost 3.5% lower. Now they could buy back in, and they probably wouldn't get, on average, they've probably made 1% on their position because of the low liquidity nature of the token. The point is, you could just trade the range. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if people want to trade this, you should. And it's very easy to trade it because you've got volume levels, and the price is reacting very nicely to the volume levels. The price is behaving the way you would expect when you do volume range pools. And this is on KuCoin. And if I go to Gate, it actually looks better on Gate. If you want to trade the volume range, you see how it went to this point of control. It couldn't get, it got down into the value area. This was only just printing. The point of control is at the bottom, so most of the volumes at the bottom. It couldn't get below the value area down here, and then you had this kind of injection of, this candle came up. Look, candle came up, back test the point of control, and then it went up, and then look where it went to, into the value area high. See that? And even obviously someone sold, good, that makes sense. And it came to back test the area almost twice. So, and now it's probably heading for liquidity. That's what it do. The price is always heading for liquidity. Will it get down to the point of control again? I don't know. And it may not, you know, it just depends on the interest and upon other levels. But you could also, like, let me have a just quickly mess about with this. Look, the first time it went up, it's coming, it's not 100%, but golden pocket. We're getting reducing volume in this consolidation range, so I would say that that's quite healthy. Yeah. I think what's happened is the selling is pretty much coming to an end. And look, on Gate, you had an inverse green candle. On KuCoin, I think it was a red candle, inverse red candle. These inverse candles, they have to be at the lows. If you're looking to trade an inverse hammer, it has to be at the lows. So someone might be going inverse hammer, that's bullish. Actually, it's not, because it's not in the lows. Yeah, and it's not bullish because you've gone into the daily level and clearly rejected, and you've closed lower. So actually that's a bearish candle. But the volume wasn't that, it was reduced volume, so I wouldn't really look into this with much notice. And obviously the target is going to be either the low of this wick here, or this lower level, which is the daily level. That's where the price is trying to get them. But right now the volume is really low. And you're coming into this 1 hour red candle, which, what I was saying, this is a good place to put orders. These are a good place to put orders. These red candles are the good places to put your limit orders. And if there isn't enough selling, you know, the price is just going to go flat, and then it's going to start coming back up again. That's what happens. So you just have to see how the price reacts. And so actually on the 4 hour time frame, you see what I was explaining before. We've coming into this red candle now. Technically, that's the 4-hour order block, technically, with the strongest at the bottom here. And so, and look what I was explaining before. When the price came back up, when it came down, these two green candles were the sell blocks. You see how the price came up into this green candle, filled it as much as it could. So it cleared all of the liquidity. Oops. All the liquidity up to this level here on this green candle. And then it went down. Yeah, that's how that happened. Kind of forming some kind of maybe it's low. It's hard to know, like the price like behaves very, it's kind of doing something like that. See how that behaves. So anyway, how is everyone today? Craig? David? David, you missed it. I was like doing Bitcoin. I was looking at the CVD and and it was bearish, by the way. Just let you know. We're in a really good zone to buy right now. Look, from where we are now, it's like 10%. So we're in a like we're 10% to this lower level now. I don't know why the viewers are still at 1 either. I think YouTube is rubbish. So stupid. I was having a look at the travel ETH chart, and I really like what I'm seeing actually with ETH, especially when you inverse it. When you look at that, that high volume is just like, it stands out with a green candle. When you look at all of the volume, look at that in the highs, bam. That's kind of what you want to see, huh? And so I do feel like we're about to drop. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do feel like it could happen. We could get like a and then the next question, you know, like if we do get some kind of drop like that, I think the next question is going to be, can we hold it? You know, like that's what I'm thinking now, because I think it's going to happen. but I just want to know if we can keep it going. Like that's what I want. So obviously, like looking at this ETH chart, the best case scenario is that we come underneath this low and hold it here, like on a consolidation pattern. But unfortunately, with these like these really low liquid tokens, people take profits, and because it's of the low liquidity, the price pulls back quite severely. Yeah, that's what happens. If it was more liquid, then it wouldn't happen. Or if there was more demand, like people were like putting limit orders and they were trying to get in without marketing in, then they would go like, okay, they would be like, well, look at the price, it's rallying, I want to get in, where do I get in? Then they'd start putting their limit orders here, and if they had that mentality, then you could get some kind of consolidation range to go up like that. That would be perfect. That's kind of what I would want. That would be like, so if you saw that, that would be like so extremely bullish. And obviously the longer this happens and holds, the more bullish it becomes. But that's kind of like, in my mind, that's probably one of the better case scenarios when you're looking at price action for something like that to happen. But the problem of the illiquid nature of this token is that people, when they sell, the price it pulls back really a lot, pulls back a ton. And look at that in the 6-month time frame. So we have like the previous 6 months. Look at that inverse candle. Technically that's bullish, but obviously it dropped. Now we're trying to recover. And I think best case scenario on the 6-month Bitcoin chart, the minimum best case scenario, so I'm looking at the least best case scenario, would be to come back above, probably coming back above that level there. So to come back up there would be fine. And then holding that level once we're back above it technically would be correct. Yeah, like worst case scenario in terms of a best case scenario situation, like the least best case scenario would be to let's come back above there somehow. Yeah, and then if we have another 6 months in this range, let's not come back underneath that level again. Like this is like, now we're in the lows, we're forming the lows, and once we're back into certain higher levels, let's never come back again. That's kind of what I'm thinking mentally. And then if it can behave that way, at the very least, then we are looking to go up against Bitcoin. And it would be very easy, like against Bitcoin in this current range, it'd be very easy from where we are now to get back to the highs. So on Bitcoin, TRVL is already going to 5x just to get back to the high of this range that we've formed right now. And I'm not talking about the volume range. I'm just talking about the price range. That would be very easy for TRVL to do against Bitcoin in the context of the next 12 months or more. And look, we've already come back into the value area high, pierced it once. And so you kind of want to see that behavior. This isn't bad, this is good. You want to see these levels pierced maybe multiple times before it finally goes through. Yeah. And each time it pierces, that level becomes weaker. Yeah. So obviously you look at that and you think, okay, we've back tested that level. We already knew that there was a level there, because you can see here the price reacts off the top of the value area high once. You see how it lost it and it reacts here. Okay. And then when it comes through the next time, it just comes through. It just doesn't even care. And so we already knew this was going to happen. We already knew there was a level there, and you can see it because the chart is basically telling you, here I am. This is the value area high. get through me. That's what the chart is saying to you. It's like, test me. And you don't, it doesn't take a genius to see the lines. But as far as I'm concerned, we have to get through those lines, so to speak. You just have to test them a few times. And so we had our first test, which is great. We've cleared the liquidity all the way up to this daily level on the BTC chart, which is perfect, which is what you want to do. I consider that a test, a cleared liquidity. That's a clear, for me, that's a touch, even though it didn't touch, that's a touch. So we've cleared all of that liquidity in this one move up. We're at the moment against Bitcoin, we're above the value area. Oh God, this is a significant change. Look at this. I didn't even notice this. Oh wait, this is the weekly chart. Let me bring it to the daily chart, because for some reason, sometimes the levels behave differently on different charts. So look at this, guys. This is really amazing. Tell me what you think. My previous levels, look, my value area low was here. My point of control was here. And my value area high was here. Look at that, right? And it's moved. Look at that. So I've just redrawn this volume profile of the whole range on Dtravel versus Bitcoin on KuCoin. And look at this. This is interesting. The value area low is now here. The point of control is now here. And the value area high is now here. Okay. So when I tell people that it's bullish for the point of control to come lower because of price action at the lower levels, which pulls the point of control down, this is the example that I was talking about. Yeah, this is what I'm just showing you now has just happened. And you have to come back to the charts to reanalyze, to see what's happening as things develop. But this is really bullish. I'm like, I should just put bullish on my forehead. Look at this. We're now in Bitcoin terms. Look, let me just undo what I've just did so you can see where we've come from. Hold on. All right, look at this, guys. Oh, there's someone at the door. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So look. So before this price injection on the 12th of January, we were trading here in this range here, right? And back then, this was the value area, and I marked it out. So the value area low, so if you can imagine, this is where the price is now. This is the 11th of January, right? The value area low is here on this red line. Yeah, above us. The point of control is here, and the value area higher here. This is the volume value area. The value area based on volume, right? So this is where the price is fair value. So it's if you're underneath the value area, then either you're getting really good prices, or the value area is too high, is valued too high. Does that make sense? So if the price is underneath the value area, then either the value area is priced too high for the price, or the price is cheap with respect to the value area. That's basically what it means. So this, we're trading here on the 11th of January at about 691 satoshis, right? For one TRVL, and the value area is above us at about 920 sats. Can you see that? And we've already kind of, and when I say, you know, you have to test the level a few times and then it breaks, look, we tested that level once and twice. You see that? So we pierced it twice. And then what happens on the next day, the 12th of January, which is a Friday, we get this injection of volume, yeah, this green candle, and it pushes the price up all the way up to 2036 sats. And the next day the price comes all the way back down, and we're trading, look, you see here, just above the value area at 945 sats again, until we come to our current price action, right? So our current price action is above the value area, the previous value area, right? The previous value area. But when I've just redrawn the volume profile from the beginning to the end to now, yeah, look what's happened. Not only are we trading above the previous value area, so we finally found acceptance. We found acceptance in the value area, the previous value area. That's bullish as it is. To get acceptance back into the low of the value area is bullish. Yeah, it's a sign of strength. It's a show of strength. If you can reclaim a level, it's like climbing a mountain. If you can get past a certain height when you're climbing a mountain, it shows that you're strong. It shows that you can achieve that goal, that you've done it. Yeah. So we've just climbed a mountain, right? That's what it means. But not only that, because of the volume that's come in at these lows, the whole value area has shifted down. And more importantly, the point of control. Yeah. Because the point of control represents the highest amount of volume at the price in that range. And what this is telling us now is that the point of control is no longer above us, but it's below us. So it's shifted down to this red line. See, I'm just moving it down now. And even more importantly, the value area has shifted as well. It's come down a bit, and that's bullish too. So the price has moved up and the value area has moved down. This is a massive bullish development. I tell you, I can't emphasize this enough to tell you how bullish this behavior is in terms of the price action against Bitcoin for TRVL, right? And so where we are now with the current value area is that we are now trading above the point of control against Bitcoin. So I expect that the point of control will offer support. Now we're above it. It should offer support against Bitcoin. So we're in a very strong position. We're above support and we're in the value area now. So it's always a struggle getting back into a value area. It's not easy. Oh, hi, Jay-Way. Good morning. You're doing it right, my guy. It's not easy getting back into a value area. Never easy. Yeah. So we have two signs of strength, in my opinion, here. Getting back into the previous value area, the value area moving down, and also the point of control being moving down now from this higher level down. It doesn't mean, and I just want you to know, to take note, it doesn't mean that this volume previous point of control, which is here, which we can now label as a high volume node, doesn't mean that that's not going to offer resistance. Yeah, doesn't mean that. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. Just because the point of control has moved down, it doesn't mean that high volume node doesn't still need to be flipped into support. And here I've marked SR flip. So the SR flipped I've marked is based on price, but based on volume, arguably it's a little bit higher where that high volume node is. Yeah, and usually volume is more reactive than price usually, and volume is hidden but price is visible, so usually it's better to go with the volume levels rather than the price levels, but that's just you know, people can do what they want. So this is actually quite interesting. I really like this behavior. I think this is a real sign of strength. So I don't mind that we're consolidating now above a reclaimed level. Like, that is expected. It's like reclaiming a level, and now we're just consolidating, and the consolidation is just, you know, some people are taking their profits, some people are starting to reaccumulate. So what this is called is reaccumulation. Yeah, this behavior is reaccumulation. So obviously certain people have taken profits in the highs, and now obviously they're not going to come in all at once, especially in a low liquidity environment. It's very difficult if you've taken a significant amount of profit in the highs to come in without moving the price back up, and so you don't gain as much. You lose because you're moving the price. Let's say someone, for the sake of argument, sold 2 million tokens at the highs. It'd be very difficult for them to come back into the lows without moving the price back up. So what they would do in a reaccumulation period, they would try to scale in. They would try to scale all of that value back into the lows. That takes some time. So this behavior is very normal, and yeah, I don't mind this actually. This is quite good. This is quite good. I like that. This is a new development, but I really like it. And let me just try and let me reverse it and see what it looks like. Can get rid of that volume profile now because we've got these lines. Let me get rid of this SR flip because I think this high value volume node is more important. Get rid of this SR flip as well because I think this daily level is more important because it's coming at a liquidity level and it touches that price. So this is kind of where we're looking at now versus BTC. Let me just see if there's anything else that I haven't contemplated. Let me just try some things out. I think I mean, it is possible. There are some things, but it is possible to see what we see. I think that looks okay, huh? A little bit, something like that. It's not accurate, but it's kind of giving us an idea that we are slowing down in terms of the move. Let's see what it looks like. And obviously, in the future, when you're like, when like I do imagine a future where one day we will potentially get past these highs against Bitcoin. And obviously to get there, you know, we have to gonna get above that level, above that level, above that level. We're gonna have to do that. Like this is the path. And I do imagine a time in the future where we do get above this all-time high against Bitcoin, and then we're in Bitcoin price discovery. And I think that is the moment of real increase in value against USDT. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know if this is going to behave the way I've drawn it, because actually what the other thing that I can potentially see happening here, I don't know, but you know, like some kind of something like that. Like, could that be forming some kind of head and shoulders pattern against Bitcoin on a higher time frame? And then for a massive breakout, like here, look, November 24, December 24, something like that. And obviously, we'd be looking to match the distance from the neckline. And so in terms of increase in value from where we are now to the top, you're looking at a 54x on Bitcoin, potentially 54x on Bitcoin from where we are now. And obviously it depends on how far Bitcoin gets. We don't know where Bitcoin is going to be, but by the time that was to happen, if Bitcoin was to get to $100,000 and we 54x'd on the value of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was at 54, like, can I calculate that in my mind? 54x. Bitcoin right now is about, let's say Bitcoin is about 40 roughly. It's not, but let's say it's 40. That's like a 2.5x from where we are now in terms of Bitcoin, plus a 50x. So 50x. Is that 100x, 150x from where we are now, just on Bitcoin. Oh god, I can't mentally work it out. I have to sit down and work this out on a calculator. I'm not going to do it now, but I think you get the idea. Potentially, I mean, let's see if this plays out. This is how it would look like on a regular price chart. So you're basically looking to get up to this 50,000 sats range. 50,000 sats. So from where we are now, you're looking to get up here on a regular price chart. I don't think that's out of the realms of impossibility, because I don't know if anyone was here in the last bull market, but stuff like this happened, you know. It wasn't. When you look against ETH, it's let me see what it's saying. Like ETH, we've been strong against ETH for a while, to be honest with you. Like, even though against Bitcoin we've only just shown some significant strength, we never really lost the value area low against ETH. We were always in the value area, and we didn't need to move the point of control down because the point of control was already where it was. It's just that in the last with that push up on the 12th of January, we were able to get above, for the first time in a while, we were able to close above the point of control. And now this week, we're looking to, hopefully, if nothing else changes, we'll be looking to close above the point of control. So I think we have, we're really showing some strength against ETH. And so actually, we have to see what happens with ETH, because if TRVL is showing strength against ETH, and if ETH starts to perform, then potentially you could expect TRVL to outperform ETH, potentially. And that is something that I'm thinking about as well. And so then you could get into a situation where TRVL is outperforming ETH and Bitcoin at the same time. And so if we get into a situation down the line where that was to happen, that would be the most bullish scenario, I think, to get into a situation where we're looking at, so Bitcoin on the right, and at the moment, as you can see, they're kind of synchronous in terms of the way the price is moving. If I bring that, of course it doesn't have it. Yeah. So at the moment, against Bitcoin and against ETH, we're showing strength because we're above the point of control. And look, guys, I'm using the weekly time frame. This is the whole range. This is going back to November 21. This is going back April 22. So obviously against ETH, there's more data because it's on Uniswap, whereas against Bitcoin, it's on KuCoin. And I would like the team to, I've been telling them that you need to get on more pairs and stuff. So keep on putting pressure. This is looking really, so I think in terms of like going to the moon, I'm contemplating the moon now. You obviously, what you need to do is you need to come back above, and this is what we have to be looking for. We want the price to get above the point of control, the value area high, and for the value area high to start offering support in some meaningful way. And once that happens, you're effectively the volume area of this value area, this whole volume area will then become your support, the whole lot. Yeah. And so what you don't want to do when that happens is to get back into the value area. That's not what you want. So bullish behavior would be to flip the value area high into support when it becomes as its resistance now. And then if that was to happen on both the charts similarly at the same time, and then obviously that's going to be the best case scenario for us. And then the next target will be the all-time highs. Then you'll be looking for the all-time highs against ETH and against Bitcoin. And then we have to see how what happens after that, because obviously against Bitcoin, we may get another, like it does look like it could form some kind of inverse head and shoulders. Just looking at the way, you never know, like if we did get up there and it went up there and then to come back down to that value area high to go back up for a massive breakout. And if that was to happen, then you're making a higher high, then you'd be looking for a higher low, and then getting back up to the highs would be your confirmation of a structural market change at the highest time frame against Bitcoin. So this is the kind of behavior we're looking for now. It doesn't have to correct that far down. I'm just, this, if it was to form some kind of that right shoulder, it doesn't have to be so, it could be more, that would be more bullish. We had a small shoulder, because it just shows that there's real demand and it's just stopping the price coming down, and then it also shows that people aren't really taking profits in the sense that they're holding, you know. And then the other thing that I was thinking, and so when people like, let me have a look. So at the moment, the exchanges are quite illiquid. And I think what I'm imagining down the line is this scenario. I'm imagining down the line that what happens is we get enough people to hodl. And so in order to hodl, you're buying off the exchange. So the exchange doesn't have access to their own tokens, because the exchanges have a limited amount of tokens themselves, you know. Gate, MEX, KuCoin, they don't have many tokens themselves. Like, there aren't that many around in circulation. They have a large portion which they use for their liquidity purposes, but it's not crazy amounts. And I think what we want to achieve is to get to a point in the future where two things happen, where it becomes so illiquid that either the exchanges themselves will offer incentives for people to stake on the exchanges. The exchanges will do that themselves. So last year, KuCoin did that. So for 3 months, KuCoin offered people the ability to stake their TRVL for 90 days. And KuCoin would give them a higher APR just by staking it on KuCoin. And the reason why these exchanges will do that sometimes is because they lack liquidity. And so rather than the exchanges buy tokens themselves, what they do is they offer staking pools. And there's different types of staking pools. The easiest one is the one where you just stake it and you just get APR on your TRVL. There's other ones where you're actually doing some kind of farming or pairing up, and your liquidity pools a little bit more complicated. And they will either do that themselves. So that's the first step that I'm like looking for, the growth in TRVL. When TRVL becomes a little bit more known and a little bit more significant, and when people start buying it up and hodling it, which is what I'm suggesting, and where the exchanges become extremely illiquid, but the trading volume goes up, so they need to provide that liquidity, then they're going to start offering these incentives in the first instance. That's the first thing that I'm looking for. The second thing that I'm also looking for, and this is going to be the next level for us, is where the exchanges, they themselves buy tokens to provide tokens for liquidity rather than the incentives. If they can't get enough tokens through the incentives, they will have to buy tokens themselves, you know, and that will be an injection of volume from the exchanges, where the exchanges are buying TRVL when the demand goes up. Yeah. And eventually we'll get into that situation. I think we could get into that situation down the line where we get into where the exchanges themselves, they're either offering incentives for people to stake, but I don't think that I mean, let's just see what happens with the tokenomics, because actually people might not bother with the staking on the exchanges. They might just prefer to participate in the new tokenomics staking ideas that will come out. I don't know what's happening with that myself. Like I saw that Cynthia or someone said that they just want to get it right, so that's why they're taking their time. So we just have to give them time to get that right. And obviously there's a lot of things coming up down the line and in the early next week or whenever. But I think, like, I don't think I'm going to be staking on the exchange when I could be staking on Dtravel down the line. Like, that's what I think. So even if I almost think that maybe down the line it will be possible for the exchanges to buy TRVL because they have no choice. And I think what I want to do is encourage people to hodl and to take it off the exchanges, so the exchanges become really illiquid. And as the growth of the interest in the token the price will go up significantly. And ultimately what we want is acceptance into higher prices. Yeah, ultimately that's what we want. And that's going to require two things. It's going to require the demand to come in for the token, and then it's also going to require hodling, like long-term hodling, people just not selling under any circumstances. And I think it's in the short term it makes no sense to sell, because we are expecting a bull market to last until basically this line here, September, October time in 25. So it's a long period of time. Like, I don't think people need to be in a rush to sell. And if people don't want to trade, you know, it's no big deal. I don't think it matters. Like, I'm not trading, and it's not a big deal. So you know, someone on Twitter asked me to chart something, so I might just do it just for fun. Actually, I might have to go. I have to go, I think. Oh my God. 1 second. Give me 5 minutes. Let me figure this out. I might have a check-in. Okay, I'm back. So Jayway is from New York. Craig Shot Gaming, where are you from? If he's still here. Oh well, Ava's going on BitGet, huh? BitGet spot. Did it pump? Ava's good, huh? It's still above the point of control. Oh no, it's not. Oh my god. My bad. It's not that good. What's happening with this channel? It's not. It's struggling, huh? Actually, it's not as good as I thought. Oh my god. It's not good. Wow. This is new development. Why is it behaving this way? That was a terrible daily candle yesterday. Close underneath the point of control. Losing this channel line. So this makes it easier to long Ava actually. If you're looking to long Ava, now this makes it really easy because you can just wait now. You don't have to long now. What you can do is what we're forming here is some kind of new low, and then all you have to do is long the strength, and strength is going to be very easy to see because firstly the strength is going to be the price coming back above the point of control, and strength is going to be coming back above these lows, and strength is going to be coming up back into this channel line there. That's going to be strong. Yeah. And so it's very easy now with this behavior in the price to long Ava, because now we know when it's strong. There's a key. We can be really patient with Ava. You don't even need to buy Ava right now. You could just wait for strength, and we're at the tipping point of strength, and the minute it becomes strong you can long it, just long, and you'll have your invalidation. And so whatever low we're forming here will be your invalidation. Eventually what I'm expecting is a reversal on this daily candle. So in the current context of this time frame, closing above this candle would be a sign of strength because we're back into the channel, back above the point of control, back above these lows. That's strong, and you have your invalidation, and that becomes your trade. And you could take that trade. So before, when I imagined a long, I didn't have an invalidation. Now we're creating the invalidation for the long on the higher time frame. So if you're looking to trade Ava, this is actually looking to form a good setup, but you definitely don't need to long right now unless you're scalping. And obviously if you're scalping any one of these swing failures, like even the PD low, it's just not enough liquidity. But you know, any one of that was a scalp long. These are all scalps. These are scalp longs. You can just scalp them. Every time the price comes, you can scalp and you can scalp. But what we're looking for is the big long, the positioning long. So yeah, that's an easy trade. It's a very easy trade now. Just wait for strength. And why they went on BitGet Global. Okay, so MA wants me to have a look at ZLW. Let me do that. Let me do that for you right now. See what shitcoin this is. Let's have a look. Some gate. Should I tell him I'm doing it now? Probably should, huh? Oh, it's not what you want to see when you open the charts. The price crashing. Oh my god, look at that. Scary. Wow. Wow. Was that the right one? Zelwyn is providing the one-stop solutions for startups. Launchpad for pre-sale IDO marketing hub, fiat crypto wallet fundraising. Zelwyn. Zelwyn triumphs on MEXC official exchange. We're overjoyed to share the fantastic news that with your unwavering support and active participation in the voting process, Zelwyn has successfully secured its spot on the MEXC exchange. Buy and trade ZLW on MEXC. Zelwyn. Kickstarter, January the 17th, January the 16th. They're active, huh? They're quite active. It's always good to see active Twitter pages. They only have 700 posts though. So It's a launch pad for IDOs and INOs, launching only the top projects in the space. It has a really low market cap. I clicked on that, nothing happened. Look at that white screen. That's not good. See that? Why is that doing that? It's not what you want to see. None of these are working. That's working. This isn't. These two links aren't working. They need to fix that. Huh? Nice. Save my Gmail. Fail. Right. It's not working, is it? Liquidity pool tokens. 360 days. It's not much reward, 8%. 8% for a year staking. Come on. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. That's not much. I'm not going to stake for 3%, 90 days. Come on. Let's be realistic now. This is crypto. This isn't the Bank of England. I don't know what I've done. It's interesting because they launched also at the same time as TRVL at the end of the last bull market. They had a good amount of volume, which is how they raised their capital. Their current market cap is 11 million or so, and their trading volume is 173,000. Oh God, that's travel. I'm such an idiot. They launched on the 1st of June, according to this, and they went up all the way up to 21. You lost. Oh, look at that. Look how much value just came out of this project. The volume back then in the peaks were really high volume. A lot of value was extracted out of this project in the highs and then the bear market. It's normal. It's not unexpected. Gate. I'm gonna look at it. This is all the data you have. It's a shame there isn't more data, actually, to be honest with you, because I wouldn't mind seeing all of this. September 21st. It's really difficult to chart this because we don't have any of this data. This is not correct. None of this is correct because you're missing all of the volume before the launch on Gate. That's a real problem. Is it Gate or Mex? No, Gate, yeah. So where else am I going to find it then? Maybe on the other exchange. Hold on, what exchange was it? I did this before with another token. I went on to another exchange. What was it? Probit Global. Maybe it's in that. Yeah, because I was looking at car on Probit, so it was only available on that exchange. I can't explain it. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. So I have no idea. But let me see if I can find ZLW ZLW Zelwyn. I don't understand why they don't have their charts on TradingView. Okay, yeah, you see they have all the information. Look at that. That's all the data. Oh my god. What is that? So when you have spikes like that, just go to log. It helps. Log is the best. You can't chart if you don't chart on log. Like, makes no sense. This has all the data. I like, there's a lot of volume increase here. It's good to see. Not much volume in the rest. Don't know what that was. Obviously, I don't have my tools, so I'm just going to have to figure this out. There it is. So first thing you do is a fixed range volume profile. Probably more now. See, get more volume data. It's not giving it to us. Let's wake up. What's going on? I don't like this block. What is that? Shit. Oh, it's not working, is it? The calendar's skewing the data, so I don't know why. See what the all-time high says. Yes. .2. So laggy when you're not doing it on TradingView. It's so annoying. This is the all-time high, according to CoinGecko market. So this, basically ignore these wicks. They're shit. Let's see all-time low. So CoinGecko. Look. Why is the all-time low down there? I have no idea. Try again. Can't be done now. Doing something wrong because it says 0.0068 0.006864 0.00 yeah, that's the all-time low. So this is our volume profile on this token. We have the all-time high, we have the all-time low. We're looking at the weekly time frame. We have a lot of weird wicks which can't really give you accurate information about. This is a really strong level. It's the point of control up there. Control. Make it red. You have your value area. You have a point control down here as well. So we're kind of playing around the current point of control where we're at. We had a massive injection of volume, massive, in 22 and the beginning of 23, like huge. Look at that. Compared to the rest, huge. And then it all dropped off ever since March 23, April, and it's just kind of slowly going back down. It's a value area. Roughly there. I need to get antihistamines because my allergies are killing me. Sorry about that. You definitely can't tell anything from these candles. These wicks are really off-putting. So the candles aren't making any sense at all. Maybe I need to go to a higher time frame. But the volume levels are telling me that we're in a lower range. We're coming back to test previous volume levels. Yeah. I'm just imagining things when I look at this chart. I can't really see anything to. You know what? I think just this chart is rubbish. You need basically. I would say that until you flip this value area high of this lower range into support, I wouldn't even look at this coin. That's at 0.03107. I think that would be really important. Like otherwise you don't know what's going to happen. Could it go lower? Yes, it could go lower. That's the problem. You're right at the lows. You're making lows. So you have to be careful of this with this token. So 0.031047. 31047. Let me go and put that on CoinGecko. Sorry, on Gate and see what Gate says. Because maybe it's going to be different. 0.03. Oh god. What did I just say? 31047. So no, that was, what's the low? Yeah. 0. Three one zero four seven. 31047. Should write that down. 3031047. Is that it? Six 6864. According to this, we're at the all-time low now. Just come back up. Just hit the all-time low today. That's the all-time low. This, you know, the charts on Probit are wrong, because on Gate it's coming down into the all-time low and Probit it's not. I don't know what's wrong with Probit, but I think maybe just ignore Probit for now. It's tricky because the volume came in on Probit, and on Gate there's no volume at all. when it comes to tokens and the all-time lows, you have to be very careful, because they could just keep on going down. You have to bear that in mind. Like, it's very dangerous to accumulate tokens at the all-time lows, simply because we don't know where the true value area low is, and this could just keep on going down. You just don't know how low this is going to go. Yeah, that's the problem. So you might be thinking all-time low, wow, I can buy this token, look, it's the cheapest ever, and you'll still lose most of your value because it's actually going much lower. You don't know. That's the problem. So as the token keeps on making all-time lows, avoid. All right, that's until you see a change. And what change are you looking for? There's two types of changes you're looking for. You're looking for signs of strength, and you're looking for a market structure change. Market structure, yeah, and not on the local time frame. You're looking for market structure change on the higher time frames, so daily and above. And the problem with a token like this, which is continuously making all-time lows, is that as people are scaling in, they're all of these people are underwater. You know, like all of the volume that's coming in this range, I can tell you for a fact right now, everyone is looking at a negative portfolio balance. Anyone who accumulated here is looking at a negative portfolio balance right now, and that's not no one is happy with that. No one looks at their portfolio and goes, and when it's negative, goes, this is a great day. They feel depressed, right? So a lot of depressed people right now, right? They're so depressed that they're thinking to themselves, maybe we should just exit at break even. It's just the psychology of the markets. That's the way people think. How far is this going to go down? How much more capital should I put into this? No one knows. I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you anything. All I know is that it doesn't matter if you catch the low or not, because if you catch the strength, that's where you make the money. You don't make money catching the low. You make money catching the strength, the move. That's what you're looking for, the move, the signs of the move, the signs of the strength. So I'm not saying exit. I'm saying there's a lot of people looking to get out of break even at the moment. All right. And I think that would be the best strategy with this token. There's no way to predict what's going to happen, but I think the first thing you're looking for now is a sign of strength. And what is a sign of strength? Market structure change is the first sign of strength that I would be looking for, and an injection of volume as well. So you're getting an increase in volume. You had a little bit of increase here. Yeah. In the context of volume, it's decreasing, you see? Decreasing volume. What you want is more volume. You want increasing volume. So look for increasing volume, and then a sign of strength would be come back up, increasing volume, hold the point of control, and then change market structure. So in terms of market structure, we're looking for, look, we've just made a lower low right now into this. That's the lower low. So therefore, this is your lower high. That's your lower low here. On the daily time frame, these are lower lows, but actually on the highest time frames, like even monthly, on the this is the problem. You've been around. This token has been around so long. The problem is this. I'll tell you. You're not going to get a market structure change on the monthly time frame until now, because because a new all-time low has just been made. That's the problem. So this is your lower low. This is your lower low. Lower highs. Which high do you pick? Maybe this one. Was that a higher high? It's debatable because you see the highs are getting lower. Maybe go to the weekly, see what that says. Yeah, I mean, I think in the first, because of the context of Bitcoin, let's just be gracious. Let's not go to the monthly. Let's try and get back above these highs first. That will be the first test, the first sign of strength, right? So the first sign of strength that you should be looking for is this high here. Let's get back above that high. Let's make a higher low, and then let's make a higher high, right? That's what you want to see. And it doesn't really matter in terms of the price, because to get that kind of behavior change in the price, you're still in the lows. Yeah, who cares if you caught the absolute low from there to there? Okay, you might have to enter in 200-300% higher. Who cares? It doesn't really matter, because if you get some kind of structural market structure change like that to show you that it's no longer in a downturn, it's starting to go up, you're still looking at a potential 564x up to these highs, just these highs, and this is in the all-time high, because this is the other chart. No one really cares about whether you came in here. You know, why are you trying to catch the low? Don't try and catch the low. Look for the change in behavior where it's no more selling. It's now it's buying, not selling. And so I think at the very least you're looking for some kind of weekly market structure change like that. You're looking to take out that high. And to be honest with you, just looking at the way these weeks are closing, I want to see a close above the high. I don't just want to see a wick. I wouldn't be comfortable with a wick. I don't think a wick is enough, because that wick to this wick above, and the price still went down. Yeah, I don't think a wick's enough now. I think you need a close. Yeah, and the closes represent people hodling, people holding on to their positions. So what you want is a nice healthy close above that high on the weekly time frame. And then what you're looking for is a higher low, and then the higher high, and now you can enter. And now you're probably going to be higher up. Who cares? And the other thing is, once you create that kind of market structure change on the higher time frame, you're also looking at an easy invalidation. Yeah, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, you do get what you want, this kind of market structure change. Then the next time the price comes down, maybe this high, you can accumulate there. Firstly, you have an invalidation level, which is to come back underneath that high. Yeah, or if you want a wider invalidation, you've got this low here. You know, so you have an invalidation, and maybe it goes up and it doesn't come all the way down there. It goes up and it comes there, that's the market structure change. So you have invalidations then, because then you don't want to see another market shift to the downside. You want to see a change in trend change in reversal, which means that instead of making lower highs and lower lows, you're now starting to make higher highs and higher lows. So I think you have to just wait for that to happen first. And who cares? Like, honestly, with the way this has dropped, who cares if you catch the low? I think in terms of safeness, if you want to play it really safe, wait for a market structure change and then wait for the price to get up here above this red line. Yeah, back test it and go up. That will be the safest way to trade this. And even if you get a nice accumulation above that red line, you'll still get back to these highs. You're still looking at 242x. It's not a big deal. Like it's still a lot, you know. But at least then you can position in much heavier, and you're not going to be underwater, and you have an easy invalidation. Whereas now you're making lower lows, and it's really difficult. I'm not saying you should sell. I'm just saying stop adding more, because the reality is, even though, you know, people, I know why people do it. They add to make up for their losses, because in their mind they're thinking, I can just scale in and I can just catch the bottom like that. But ultimately, if you're adding, let's say your average position is here because you've just been scaling in for the whole lot, and you're just thinking, so I want to make back all my losses and break even. You don't need to do that. Once you see the sign of strength, you can add in there. Your average positions comes down to there, but you can come in heavy then, and so it negates all of that loss. Your average positions comes down really fast, and at least now the price is going up. So this is the better way, and then you can quickly take out you can go break even if you want, or you can just, now the price is going up, you might actually just hold. But you're in this trade. This is the trade that matters. This is the trade. So I think that would be the correct strategy. Something like that. Wait for a market structure change and a sign of strength. All right. I hope that helps. All right, I'm going to go now. Thank you. Got stuff to do.